every time I come to these competitions, I make new friends, and it's a chance for me to meet friends.
It's so friendly.
Here, that's just so amplified.
It's really nice giving them a very unique opportunity to go through something like this together that you don't get at most competitions.
I mean, I think that's a great thing. Like this is our fourth one now, fourth WODAPTIVE.
Being able to compete at what you feel is like a sort of competition level on an open level playing field with all your with your friends and in a really supportive, friendly environment, and it's an absolute buzz. It's just brilliant, and it's just great.
To see kind of a really inclusive environment where it facilitates all kinds of people in all kinds of different circumstances, I think that's really, really lovely to see, to be honest with you.
How easy or difficult has it been to find coaches who understand the needs of adaptive athletes? Difficult. It is difficult, and adaptive athletes, they're still people and they still work hard. Maybe they don't work to the same level as not able-bodied athletes, but they work to a level above themselves, and that's the most important thing to remember, and it's very easy to overlook that for an individual, I fear. So finding coaches that it does take patience, because some adaptive athletes move and think a little slower than others, and having that patience to allow the athlete to actually get to the point where they're doing the exercise, coaching them through the adaptations that need to be made. It's difficult because I think the world moves quickly, and sometimes the world needs to maybe just slow down a touch to let everyone catch up. But yeah, people I work with though, phenomenal. I mean, I learn something new every time I go there.
I think it's really important to have knowledgeable coaches who can help train adaptive athletes. I think it's something we don't ask much. I go to a CrossFit box and we have a couple of adaptive athletes there, and the coaches actually want to work with them and want to sort of do more, but it's not something that we do publicise a lot. So I think we can do more to publicise it, but it is really important that each adaptive athlete talks to the coaches about what their specific needs are. But it is so inclusive and it should be much better promoted, and I think we need to pull out that from the coaches more.
One of the things I think that comes along with knowledge is the confidence to coach, and I think having that confidence in your own coaching ability to know what you are capable of, but also what you're not capable of, and then working with the athlete to find solutions, I think is really, really powerful. So for me, as a coach myself, I'm always looking to learn from adaptive athletes that I do work with, like my partner today, Tyler. I've learned so much from him over the last sort of year and a half, 2 years of us working together, and I think it's really elevated my coaching, not just for adaptive athletes, but for people of all abilities and all backgrounds.
So I think it's really important for coaches to understand adaptive athletes and kind of how they can modify, how they can change exercises. I walked straight into my CrossFit gym back in Tewkesbury, and the coach did not have any direct knowledge on working with amputees. However, as a CrossFit coach, you're there to modify and change workouts to allow anybody access to those movements. So the principles are the same, but I think certain coaches might get a bit put off and might be a little bit scared if somebody with an amputation walked into their gym, or a seated athlete, a wheelchair user comes in. What's going to go through the coach's head, but more importantly, what's going through the athlete's head. I think it's important that we have such an inclusive background in CrossFit, which from my experience is very good. Now I can't talk on all areas, but from my own experience now, it's been really positive, and I think it's about sharing and spreading the word that anybody can walk into any CrossFit gym around the country and be confident that they can achieve the same workouts as able-bodied individuals.
What advice would you give to other adaptive athletes who are looking to get into CrossFit? To be fair with you, I think it's just be spontaneous about it. I mean, functional fitness and people with disabilities and adaptive athletes, they don't get that inclusion even just in bog standard gyms. So even if it's not just CrossFit, but functional fitness, I'd say go for it. Don't be afraid, because what you're doing is that you are leading a march, and you're taking steps in a space into the unknown. And I think to be part of something bigger is well worth the reward at the end, and just overall for yourself. You just don't see it enough. And being part of Alt Movement, being part of Adaptive, and seeing how much athletes can do, adaptive athletes can do, and people with disabilities, like, it's just amazing, because they give the driving force and the absolute power of any able-bodied athlete there is. And that's something, and I think if you are an adaptive athlete looking to just go into a bog standard gym, looking for a PT, or looking to compete, you've got nothing to lose and you've got everything to gain. And I think you should just
do it. Like, I know it's easier said than done. Do it. If you're worried about being, if it's like body conscious, if you're worried about, like, you know, oh, I don't want to do this because I might look too disabled, or I might be too disabled to do this. No. There's so many different levels of a disability here. There's like no two disabilities are the same. Everybody's disability is different as it is. Just give it a go. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Okay, you fail your lift. Okay, try again. Simple as. Like, assess, adapt, advance. Simple.
How do we ensure that this competition runs smoothly for both able-bodied and adaptive?
The future's bright. Future is gleaming.